Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of A Literary Tasting. My name is Jessica.
And my name is Annie.
And this week on A Literary Tasting, we're going back in time to a time of Jennifer's Body, to a time of Abercrombie and Fitch tote bags.
Yeah.
To a time of that song where he's like, tell your boyfriend. That one.
Yeah.
This week we are reading Pretty Little Liars. I would say Pretty Little Liars is the basis of a lot of our friendship. We've spent a lot of time watching Pretty Little Liars together.
Watching it, talking about it.
Reading it.
Yeah. It is the basis of a lot of our friendship. I don't even know how this came to be, actually, how we both realized that we're still obsessed.
I don't know, it was a pretty big show back in the day.
Yeah.
I read it when it came out, originally, so, this
too.
has been the fabric of my life for 12 plus years, and I'm still... you know what would hit this Halloween? The Pretty Little Liars Halloween episode from season 1.
Oh my ever-loving God. Yeah. Like, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like that show.
Everyone on that show came to set with a purpose, and their purpose was to serve.
Yeah. Actually, they put out the casting call. I don't know if you know this, but they put out the casting call, and it said, we need 4 cunty girls who are here to slay.
Plus
and it is.
5 plus Mona.
So
6
true.
plus Allie.
Period. There was not... It was like the heaviest hitters were on the floor. Every day. They didn't play. Rent was due. And
they had experience serving, and then a bunch of waitresses showed up, and they were like, no. We need people to serve.
Serve.
Anyways, this week, I chose our drink this week, and we are drinking Diet Coke. Not sponsored, obviously. But we are drinking Diet Coke because when I thought of what would Allie De Laurentiis, what would they have been drinking in the barn that night, on the night that Allie went missing? And I thought, maybe Pink Whitney. Mm-hmm. But it was 2000, I don't know when Pink Whitney came out. Was Pink Whitney a thing in 2006?
2006?
Probably
we were
not,
6.
right?
So I have no idea.
True. But anyways, if I were to guess, I would have said that blue vodka.
Mm-hmm.
Or Tito's.
100%.
And then I think that if she went to a Hollis bar, I think she would have been ordering a vodka Diet Coke.
Absolutely.
Because she didn't want to order something girly, but she also wanted something to not taste like ass.
Yeah. She wanted to hold something cute in her hand, but also be I'm not like the other girls. I don't drink sweet drinks like that.
And it's 2006, so if you drink anything that has calories in it, you're gonna want to kill yourself.
Exactly.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love it. Do your thing.
Did you guys hear that? It's actually really good.
I know.
I'm not like one of those Diet Coke girls because I'm not really a soda person in general.
Me neither.
I pretty much I like drinking water.
Yeah.
And if I don't want water, I'll have a juice or a Liquid
Yeah.
IV. I love Liquid IV. Liquid IV, please sponsor us.
Yeah. Begging.
All right.
But, yeah, let's get into it.
So,
I mean, first and foremost... Oh, actually, go ahead. You were going to do your trigger warnings.
Yeah, first, trigger warnings. There's a lot, so if I miss any, please feel free to correct me in the comments. But this book is very triggering, and it's actually kind of crazy that it was written for teenagers.
Extremely.
Trigger warning for eating disorders, sexual content with a minor, homophobia, racism, bullying, underage drinking / drugs, murder, infidelity.
Every chapter...
Stalking.
Yeah, those 2 would be in there. Stalking for sure. Reading this back, it's really crazy because, watching the show so many times, you're like, okay, these things are bad. But you don't...
That's kind of the point.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. But, reading it back...
It is kind of shocking.
You're kind of like, whoa. And I feel like even in the show, they kind of, simmered it down a little bit.
I don't know. Did you see the dollhouse underground?
Well, that was a stroke of genius, to be frank.
If somebody got, yeah,
but I just meant all of that, triggering content was just I was kind of shocked by it. I don't remember reading it when I was a kid and being oh shit. I mean, I definitely remember I read these because I stole them off my sister's shelf and I hid in her closet with a flashlight reading them.
My sister was not, my sister had these too and she was like, don't read these. But of course I was going to read them because they had those cunty little covers.
Exactly.
On the front it was the doll and on the back it was the person.
Right.
Girl.
Come on. When you're, like, a diva in training, of course I'm gonna grab these books.
I was gonna say, well, I was definitely gay. Like, and I just wanted to look at the pretty girls on the back.
Also, I was definitely also, like, you know, I'm a true crime fan, and clearly this was, like, a cup of my little tea as a kid, because I used to flip through them and just read the A-text, and keep going and just read the A-text. Yeah.
Were you scared?
I was horrifically scared. Terrified. Anyway, let's get into talking about this, because,
I don't have any changes to the casting, because ultimately I think the show was so its own thing.
Yeah.
That I don't even want to change it.
No, I wouldn't dare.
Yeah,
I wouldn't dare change any of them.
I think that Allie and Hannah and Arya were cast so well.
Yeah.
Now, I love Troyan and Shay, and I think that it makes sense. Oh, and Mona, of course. The actress's name, I don't know it off the top of my head. But Mona as well. Mona's like platinum blonde in the book. Like,
yeah.
I totally get why the casting directors were like, we're not having 6 blonde girls on the screen.
Yeah, they're all blonde in the book.
Like, no, we're not doing that. Like, there needs to be at least some diversity.
Yeah.
So, I think that's fine, but I will say, Allie, it's literally like somebody made her in a lab.
No, like...
She was perfect for that role.
Perfect. I also want to mention...
And so is Hannah. Yeah. And they look really similar, and they have similar facial features.
I think that, that actress, her name is escaping me right now.
Sasha?
Sasha Peters?
I'm not going to try to say that last name.
Yeah, she's, phenomenal. Like, phenomenal. And when that show started, she was 13 when they filmed the pilot. I cannot believe the amount of sass, attitude, like, everything. Like, the fact that she was also able to just, like, hold her own acting-wise, and also kind of chew on the floor. Like, she was...
Chew on the floor.
She was chewing. Like, she literally was, like... She was really doing her biggest one.
You know who I think could also play Allie? I didn't bother fan casting anyone, but I will say that... I know everyone's tired of me talking about Dove Cameron, but she also looks like she could have been... She also looks like she could have been made in a lab to look like Alison De Laurentiis.
I guess, but I just cannot picture anyone else.
No, she bodied. She was made for that role.
Yeah.
And good for her.
Yeah.
So was Arya, too, was made for that role.
I agree.
Hale?
Yeah,
She's
I agree.
So pretty.
I also want to say that I'm Troyan Bellisario's biggest fan.
Oh, she was acting circles around them, her and Mona.
Oh my god, I am literally, like, I love her down. Like, I would take a bullet for her.
Yeah, she was acting circles around the other ones.
So...
Who was your favorite? Not, like, actress-wise, but, like, who's your favorite? Like,
character?
Yeah.
It was definitely Spencer. Which I think is what fed into my, like, love inches.
Wait a minute.
I know.
Are we Allison, and who would you be? Spencer.
Yeah.
Are we Allison and Spencer right now?
Low key.
My forehead is just, like, so... I really need to go to the hair salon. Okay, let's just move on.
Well, my favorite is Spencer, I think.
My favorite at the time was always Allie and Arya.
At the time, it was Arya, I would say.
You could not... No, I wanted to be Allison so bad.
Yeah.
I feel like I give Allison now, but 10 years ago,
Yeah, I would definitely say, like, when I was... First time I watched, and, like, I was... And
the way that she had such power over men.
I know.
Allison. I've always wanted to
everyone,
get that.
People her age, people, like, who are...
Teachers,
older boy, like, everyone was wrapped around her finger.
But now as an adult, my favorite would definitely be Hannah. She absolutely
love
Hannah.
Hannah.
And Hannah's mom.
I love Ashley.
And Mona.
Yeah.
Honestly, just what a great show it was. It was a great show.
I'm watching it currently. Like, it's so good. Yeah, amazing. So, that being said...
And I love Emily, too, but she was just kind of annoying.
Yeah, no, nothing against Shay Mitchell. She's also, like, boots down amazing. The character of Emily was just not my fave. I think that she, like, having a colored gay woman on screen was so important at the time. Because, like, I mean, again, it was... When did the show air? Like, probably 2010? 2011?
Yeah.
Like, that was so ahead of its time.
Having a gay character in a teen
in general,
book,
yeah.
In 2006 is crazy. Yeah.
In a teen show, especially...
That's what I'm saying, though. It is interesting that they were tackling, like, homophobia and racism.
I know. It was, like...
She did her big one.
On top of her being, like, just gay in general in this, like, predominantly white town.
Yeah.
They were also in an interracial relationship, her and Maya. Mm-hmm. So, those are, like, a lot of big topics to tackle. And I thought it was, like... I don't know. Watching it back now, I'm seeing it for what it is, and it's like really important to have those kinds of people on
Yeah.
TV. You know?
Yeah.
You don't realize
I don't
that
know.
impact.
I don't know how we started there and ended in the dollhouse, but I'm glad we did. Tell us our story.
Okay, so we open, of course,
In the barn.
in the barn. We have our
I love this one.
yeah. Tell me that story again. Me every time I rewatch the show.
I'm literally gonna go home and watch the Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Guys, I might surrender to alcohol and get a bottle of wine and then watch the Halloween episode.
Why shouldn't you?
And then think about Henry Turner. Guys, Daydream came out yesterday and I'm so horny.
You guys. Okay, we're in the barn. We meet, obviously, our 4 girlies and Allison. And
actually, sorry to cut you off immediately, but I'm surprised that I guess it was 12 when I first read this, but the only other character we meet in this beginning besides, like, immediate family is Mona. We meet her in the prequel.
yeah.
In the prologue or whatever.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah.
She told us from the start.
Yeah. Yeah.
She told us from the jump.
Yeah, she was like, here's the what?
Here she
Here's
is.
the girl that they bully.
But
Yeah.
But it could have been anyone that they bullied. But no, it's Mona.
No, it's Mona. And
They were bullying bitches left and right.
They were bullying bitches left and right. Okay, so where were we? The barn. The girls are in the barn, and we meet Mona, and we get a lot of like bullying. A lot of like there's some teasers to like what kind of relationship the girls had with Allie right before she disappeared.
And it's tense.
Very tense. Everyone has issues. They do meet Melissa and Ian in the barn before they have their sleepover, and
It's tense there too.
it's OD tense.
Somehow.
And of course, Allie is like, Spencer, do you want to tell your sister something? And everyone's like, the fuck? And Spencer like freaks out, which obviously the something in question is that she kissed Ian at some point. Which is kind of the relationship she had with all of them. She makes some kind of remark to each one of the girls during this sleepover that like triggers them real bad. She talks about Emily kissing her on the sly. She talks about Arya seeing her dad
Cheat
the
on
infidelity.
Yeah.
She makes a comment about Hannah eating too much. Like, just all in the span of, like, 15 minutes.
Damn!
And
Girl.
she decides, it's a slight different from the book, or from the show, but she decides to do, like, hypnosis on the girls and puts them to sleep. And Spencer jumps up and she's like, I don't want to be hypnotized. The other girls do get hypnotized. Her and Allie kind of, like, have a quick tiff, a quick little fight. And then Allie walks out, never seen again.
Shit disappears.
Straight up disappears.
That's crazy.
Spookiest shit of all time.
Yeah, this shit had me, like, had my toes curled in my sneakers.
Yeah.
In the 6th grade.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, this is the scariest thing that's ever been written.
Ever.
Contact Stephen King right now. Tell him he needs to quit his job.
He needs to hand over his crown.
Yeah.
To Sara Shepherd immediately.
If the clown who...
Yeah, period. I would love to see It the Clown face off against Abby B.
No, you know what?
Like,
If the clown tried to face off against Mona, he's for sure losing.
dying. He's done. He's done. He doesn't have the speed, dexterity, like, wherewithal, complete knowledge of everything of all time
Right.
that Mona does.
No. He also doesn't have the cuntiness that Mona has.
At all. No, not at all. So then we find out that it's been, in the show, it's been a
Time
year.
jump.
But it's now, like, 3 or 4 years
It was
later.
the summer after 7th grade, so they're probably, like, 13, and now they're 16 or 17.
Yeah, they're, like, going into their junior year.
Big time jump. Allie is still missing.
Allie's still missing.
All the girls are about to start 11th grade.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Allie's family has moved out of her home because they don't want to be in Rosewood anymore because it's pretty obvious that they're never going to find her.
Yeah. So when we actually start chapter 1, and this is all our prologue. When we actually start also, I really need everyone to, like, right now look up that picture of Allie D in the yellow top. Because I think that top kind of, like, not only, like, encapsulates this entire
The Declaration
story.
of Independence is less important that is less important than that yellow top.
Yeah.
The Constitution? No. Not
Have
as
you
important
seen
as
Allie
it.
D's yellow top?
Have you seen Allie G's Lady Gaga costume?
Oh.
More importantly, have you seen Jenna's Lady Gaga costume? I'm going as that. I'm going as Allison DeLuinters as Lady Gaga for Halloween.
You could actually probably really kill that. You should actually do that. I'm not lying. But when we actually open the book, now to chapter 1, we open with Emily. Now we get chapters for each of the girls. They like rotate between the 4 of them.
Love this writing style.
Yeah, me too. And we start with Emily, who is our resident sporty girl.
She's on the swim team. She's dating a man that she hates named Ben.
Yeah.
I've been there. A quote that I love from Emily's perspective is that she's like, I really don't want to go home and lay on Ben's couch and watch him roll his tongue around in my mouth. And I was like, really, really painted that picture for me.
Yeah.
And I really get it.
She painted it, and I was smelling what she was stepping in, for sure.
I hate when you say that.
I don't know how else to say it. Like, I get it. You know what I mean?
Just say that.
No, I like mine better. It paints more of a picture.
No, I was like, I see what... I have been the girl laying on the couch with someone's tongue rolling around in her mouth and being like, ugh.
I want it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've all been that girl, I guess.
Yeah, we've all had that moment. But we also meet her family, Miss... Now, in this book, her name is, like, not Pam. It's something else. It's like Kathy or something. I don't know.
It's Elizabeth.
I feel like those are both wrong, honestly.
Okay.
But she also has siblings.
Yeah, she has a sister.
And, like, she's a sister and a brother, I think. Like, there's a whole lot to this family.
Yeah, poor Emily got...
Yeah.
Damn.
She got kind of stripped bare.
Yeah. They're like, we're just starting over completely.
Yeah. And her mom is like, we just heard some people are moving into the De Laurentiis house. I want you to go and give them this, like, gift basket. Emily's kind of like, what do you mean someone's moving into Allie's house? Like,
the fuck?
That's awful. That hurts me. Which is so valid. Obviously, like, it's been a long time, but that doesn't stop it from being so uncomfortable to see the, that... Obviously not her family moving on, but just, like, the change, the acceptance a little bit is hard, So she goes there, and she sees all of these boxes on the street filled with some of Allie's stuff.
Notably, Allie's journal is in there.
Yeah. Allie's journal's in there.
I don't know why she left it.
I would have taken that for
I totally
sure.
would have taken that. I would have been like, in life or death, I don't care. You're not telling my secrets, and I'm not letting yours get out either.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Also, like... Yeah, it's just, like, the protection of her privacy, and it's, like, your friend. And also, just the fact that the Jenna thing is in that journal. Why do you want that in anyone else's hands?
That's true, and it is... That, yeah. And it is crazy that literally she literally points it to our... Again, I get that I was 12. Brings it to our attention, saying Allie's... Like, she literally sees Allie's journal.
Yeah.
Decides to leave it.
Yeah.
And... I literally was so convinced that Allie was back.
Yeah.
That was my favorite theory.
Convinced. Yeah, I was convinced. I
think she does come back in the book too, but
so.
Nothing was better than Allie coming back.
No. Yeah.
No storyline can compare.
Now, one thing I also want to mention here is I have the book, but I started reading it on my phone while I was, like, commuting to and from work.
And tell them.
Well, I guess they did a reprint, like... I must have been, like, last year or something, because...
Definitely recently. Post-2020.
Yeah, for sure, because they changed a lot of the cultural references to, like, update it, which I guess kind of... that touches on the thing we talk about a lot, where it's, like, when they mention cultural stuff, it, like, really dates the book, and so they're trying to keep it updated. It's like, are we going to reprint every 20 years
Would you
or something?
rewrite the Constitution?
No, exactly. Exactly. You're not doing that. Like, I want to see her talk. She mentions, like, Billie Eilish in this book. Yeah. And I was like,
Billie Eilish, TikTok, and Snapchat.
Yeah. And Doja Cat. And I was like, wait. Was this not printed? I literally went back and checked the publication date just to make sure I wasn't crazy. Yeah, no. They reprinted
Doja
it.
Cat in 2006.
No, I was like, this is insane.
Doja Cat in 2006 would have changed lives.
Yeah. I don't think we would be the same country we are today. I don't know. It made me a little bit uncomfy. I was like, in this case, I wanted my dated references.
Well, also, because in the original book, they're talking about, like, Gwen Stefani and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like the historical context of it being 2006 is really
important.
Relevant.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
I don't think that any teenager would be in the same scenarios, because we are in a point where 12-year-olds are hopefully not thinking it's... Like, when I was 14... reading this book, I was like, yeah, I can fuck a 17-year-old. What's the problem?
Yeah.
I think there has been a cultural shift to where I'm sure some people still don't see a problem with it.
Yeah.
But I feel like there has been enough of a cultural shift that the general population doesn't have that opinion. I think it is incredibly relevant that, like, 10 years ago, like, 12-year-olds were going to parties with, like, high school seniors, and it was weird as fuck.
Yeah.
I think the historical context, I think is really relevant.
No, I agree. That's a really good point. Like, in this case, you want to date it in that time because that's what, it gives so much context to, like, all of their behavior to be high schoolers at this point and, like, what that is. And also, they reprinted it with this new cover that is just not anywhere close to the iconicness of the originals.
I don't know why you would change that. The little, with the dolls.
If you go buy the book, the hard copy, please go buy the one with the cute cunty dolls on it.
If anyone knows where I can watch The Lion Game for free, please email it to me right now.
Email it to our literarytasting@gmail.com.
Or leave it in the comments, or mail me a letter.
Send us a DM, something. Like, we have to find out. Anyway, let's move on. She goes to Maya's house, she sees the stuff. She meets Maya St. Germain, the new girl who just moved into this house with her family. Maya has just like this kind of spunky, rambunctious energy about her, and Emily's
I'm not a fan of Maya. Emily's so uptight and nervous because she's gay. And she doesn't know it. Aww. So she doesn't feel comfortable in herself.
Aww, it's
hey,
kind of like,
did you not flashback to 20 minutes ago when I said I liked the doll covers because I wanted to look at the pretty girl on the back, so don't get mad at me.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's almost
it's
like...
It's true. She didn't feel comfortable with herself because there was a part of her that she didn't realize was, like... there. Yeah. So anytime anybody is different than her, it kind of freaks her out a little bit because it makes her question who she really is.
Yeah. And she apprehensively accepts an invitation to go inside. Maya starts smoking a J
together.
And
that's actually insane. I would never smoke weed in front of somebody that I just met. I would definitely start sweating so bad in front of them.
I would never.
I'm not allowed to smoke. I'm not allowed to smoke weed.
Yeah, but no, crazy thing for her to do with someone she just met. But she does it because she just kind of is like,
she's just quirky and fun. She's from California.
Yeah, she's from California, and she has a boyfriend in California, and she's just new to the area. I don't know. Anyway, Emily's like...
She kisses Emily on the cheek, and Emily's like, I gotta fucking go.
Yeah, she's like, I have to leave. And she, like, bolts out the door, and she's also, like... She just is talking about how, like, reminiscent it is to be in the house and how it smells still kind of like... She's like, I can almost still even smell, like, Allie's mom's perfume. Like, it's such an experience to be back here. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
So that was kind of our intro to Emily. Then we move on to Aria. She has just returned from Iceland. She is part of our artsy family. Her parents are...
She's got a feather in her hair for sure. For sure. 2010.
Yeah.
Since it was republished in 2020, she definitely had that cunty hairstyle with the two blue pieces. Mm-hmm. And the peekaboo.
Yeah. 100%.
That hairstyle is life-changing for me. I've always wanted to have my hair look like that.
Aria with the blue streaks.
They were pink. Her story.
Were they pink?
Yes, they were pink. Are you out of your damn mind?
Oh, well, I was saying...
Why do you think my hair was pink for 4 years?
Oh.
Do you know what I was raised on?
Well, I was going to say...
If you'd like to see a photo of that, go to our Instagram.
With the pink... Her hair with the streaks in it, I got, like, blue clip-in streaks.
Did you?
Yes, and I wore them to school every day. Yes. Oh my God! I loved them. I literally would straighten my... And they were, like, straight hair clips.
I literally have the urge to get the hair spray paint. To put that little streaks in all the time. Because I think... Yeah. I know they're very, like, 2012. I think they're timeless.
It's really cute.
I think if you showed me a woman in the 1800s, I think she, too, would have a pink streak in her hair.
Yeah. Again, her story. But Aria's definitely
What's
way
Kamala Harris's
more...
plan to bring back that hairstyle?
You know what? I feel like if you told her about
she got a pink streak, I'm gonna vote for her regardless, obviously. But I would definitely I'd buy like a t-shirt. I'd buy like a t-shirt and a hat.
Yeah.
A foam finger. I'd be like, yes!
I love it. I feel like if we like asked her about it, she would definitely be like, "Oh, don't worry, I have a plan in place."
She totally would. She would laugh.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "You girls are so funny."
I know.
I'd be like, ah! I love women herstory.
Yeah. But Aria's definitely like way more out there and
she
like
seems
quirky.
so much like mature because she's had like life experience, and I'm not saying she is mature. I'm saying that's how she feels about herself.
Yeah, I was gonna say she feels that way about herself for sure, but like
she literally is
so much of her actions show the opposite.
Yeah, like she's like getting so annoyed because like the high school boys are playing lacrosse. Like, girl, you're 17.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're 17, you care about lacrosse, you cling to that You better care about lacrosse.
Yeah.
I should have cared more about lacrosse in high school. I don't know what I don't
if
know
I knew
why.
it was good for me.
Yeah. Honestly. Yeah.
But her family just gets back because they immediately after, or like a couple months after Allie goes missing, her whole family ups and goes to Iceland. Because her family's like, we should just not be in Rosewood, which I totally agree with. Like,
Yeah,
I understand the
mind.
mindset.
2 years and come back is kind of.
Yeah, I understand the mindset of it, at least, to just like remove their child from that situation. But the thing is,
No, they were
actually
going to move
weren't
regardless.
thinking. Were they?
I don't know if this is in this book or if it's in the prequel, but
Mm.
I read the prequel as well.
Mm-hmm.
She's mentioning it to Allison, which is partially why Allison is getting like so paranoid.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're right, actually, because I think she mentioned that like they went for her dad's job, like his job he got, so he was probably like already in the talks of going, and
Yeah.
then he got the job, and they're like, yeah, we should definitely hit feet.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
because he was mid cheating on his wife.
Exactly, I was gonna say that's
And
another
Arya was
reason
keeping that secret.
is that it's not actually for her. It's more so for him because he is mid cheating on his wife, and Arya catches him doing it with Allie.
And he convinces her to keep it a secret from her mother.
Byron, they could never make me like you.
Yeah, Byron was the worst character in the entire show.
For real.
Yeah. Also,
Like, genuinely.
second underneath him, I'm sorry to do this, Lucas, but I fucking hated his ass. If I were Alison De Laurentiis, I too would have bullied Lucas. He was so goddamn annoying.
I hated Byron. Whoa. But her chapter is more so just...
The worst thing you can do is not stalk, not kidnap, not murder. It's be annoying.
be annoying. If you're annoying, like, I just can't do that. I can't do that. But her chapter is more so just, like, her family moving back. She goes to drop off her brother, Mike, at lacrosse practice. She recognizes some old kids that
Lacrosse
she
is
knew
such a
from
rich people's
school.
sport.
Of course. And then she's like, you know what? While I'm waiting for Mike, I'm going to go to the bar down the street. Girl, you're 16. That's crazy. But she goes into the Hollis bar.
She literally, I'm pretty sure in her mind, she's like, let's go get a pint.
No, literally, she's like, I'm going to go get a pint. I understand you
Girl.
in Europe, but, like, this is wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're back in America, like, you can't just walk.
You know the drinking age is 21, girl.
Right, but apparently this bartender looks at her and he's like, whatever. You're telling me she doesn't actually look 16 years old right now? Like, you can tell what a
Yeah.
16-year-old looks like.
Yeah.
You can
And
at least
even
tell
if you're
under
like,
age.
yeah, that's literally what I was
Yeah.
just about to say. Even if it's like, oh, she could be 16, she could be 18. Not 21, though.
No.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
But what's even worse is that
It's about to get worse.
we meet Ezra. Ezra, when I catch you,
Ezra, you're going to fucking prison. And I'm gonna make sure of it.
if there's one thing that I will do is put Ezra Fitz in fucking maximum security prison. I hate that man. She meets Ezra at this bar and they just get to talking and they're talking about books and art and Iceland and whatever, and they start making out in the bathroom.
Well, I mean, to be fair to him, in this moment,
True.
she could definitely have passed for 18. She could definitely have made it seem, like she was in school.
Mm-hmm.
It would make sense for it to be her first semester of college.
Yeah.
Like,
Fair.
fair enough. She literally is like, once I graduate,
Yeah.
I want to be a teacher.
Yeah.
What's your major? I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking English. Those
Yeah.
are all very normal things for an 18-year-old first year of college to say.
Yeah.
However,
She purposefully says things.
she's being vague.
Yeah, she's purposely being
She's
very
not lying,
vague.
but she's being vague.
But she's being vague. And also,
I mean, regardless, it might not be illegal, but still, you're 23 years old, fucking with an 18-year-old. You shouldn't be allowed to teach 16-year-olds.
no. No. No.
I will ask you, though, who was your favorite boyfriend at the time? At the time. Not now.
At the time, it was
Yeah.
definitely Ezra.
Okay, yeah, me too. I just want to make sure.
100%. That's the thing. You watch that when you're that age and you're like rooting for them so much and
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh my god, her parents, they don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
how could anyone not?" And I'm watching it now and I'm like, I cannot believe that in this season 3, her and Ezra are walking around hand in hand in the town and no one is saying anything about it. Her mom is like going to dinner with them. Like, this is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, like I was literally just, like, we were talking about how, like, I think how important it was for certain issues to be touched upon, and I think she just missed the mark a little bit on this
Yeah.
one. Because I think she failed to consider that, of course, her 16-year-old, 12 to 16-year-old audience
Yeah.
was going to root for the older guy that's so much more mature and treats her better. Because when you're 16 and a guy is 23, you're not thinking about, ew, that's gross. You're thinking, he looks like a man and not a boy that all these kids I go to high school with, like...
He has maturity and he's grown, he has a job. He's like, you know... But also, to be fair to her, also, I will say that, like, in the books, Ezra devolves very fast and he is not the same Ezra that's in the show.
I still think she missed the mark a little bit.
I agree, but I do want to say...
Especially because... I mean, I guess she can't control what happens in the show to a certain extent, but they end up getting married.
No, I know. So, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's
he
different.
never gets his comeuppance. He should have gone to jail.
That's what I'm saying. In the book, like,
prison.
He definitely, I understand how she was going there.
I don't even think he gets his comeuppance in the book, though. He just, like...
Not too much. You just kind of see him for who he truly is. Like, as kind of slime ball dude.
Gross.
Yeah. But that theme was meant for a little bit of a older audience, I think. Like, we couldn't grasp it at that time.
No.
You know?
We just wanted him so bad.
Yeah, exactly. So I will give her credit there. I think she just didn't realize that, like, I'm 12 years old reading it in my sister's closet. She didn't think about that when she was writing it.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't put those little dolls on the cover if you don't want 12-year-olds to be reading it, because are you kidding me? That was so cunty.
No, like...
I can't tell you how life-changing that was for me, you guys.
It was like a moth to a flame.
I honestly think that might have been part of the reason that I had an eating disorder growing up.
A bomb couldn't have stopped me. The way I literally, at the time that this was, like, really, like, my obsession, I was living in Mozambique. Like, okay, and so the show had just come out, and after reading these books, I ordered them, like, the first season on DVD to get shipped to my house in Mozambique. The way I was walking around my school, gatekeeping the fuck out of that show, like, I'm pretty sure I had it in my backpack at one point, like, I brought it, or actually, my tote, because I was carrying a tote, because they carried totes to school, and I literally had it, like, in my bag, and I would show people the cover, because the cover was so cunty, because it was the 4 girlies on it, like, our main characters, and I would literally, like, show them, and then, like, they'd be like, can I borrow it? And I'd be like, no, you can't. No, you can't.
Tell the story about the birthday party.
So I had a birthday party, and at this birthday party, it was like my 6th grade birthday party, basically the entire purpose of the party was to watch season 2 of Pretty Little Liars. I made everyone come and watch it, and even though I don't think any of them had seen season 1, I was like, you're gonna sit here and you're gonna enjoy it.
It was her story.
Yeah. And then I, like, remember, like, they were all fell asleep and I was the only one awake, and all, you know, those little clips of A at the end of each episode, like, those were terrifying the fuck out of me, and I was the only one awake. And then I went to school the next week, and the, like, most popular, like, queer icon at the school at the time came up to me and was like, I heard you had a sleepover this weekend, and you guys watched Pretty Little Liars for your birthday. And I was like, indeed we did. And he was like, so can I borrow it? And I was like, no. And I've never felt so powerful in my life.
I felt like Allie in that moment.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I had no reason to actually not let him borrow it, besides the fact that, 1, I just...
He was not going to give it back.
...wanted to gatekeep, and 2, I didn't think he was going to give it back to me, and I was like, I need that. I need that. Sorry. I need that.
No, it was yours.
It was mine.
You had it shipped there.
Exactly. If you want it, get it shipped there. Anyway, let's get back on track. Our next chapter, we meet Miss Hannah Marin, the queen, and here we find out that...
Dare I say Hannah had it the worst?
Oh, she had it the absolute worst. She was getting shafted left and right.
Arya, okay, yes, her parents were bad, but, like, they didn't really harp too much on that secret. It was, every plot line was about her and Ezra.
Yeah.
Girl, just break up with him!
Yeah.
Problem fucking solved!
Yeah.
Because her mom and Byron, like, worked through their issues, I'm pretty sure in season 1.
Yeah.
All she had to do was break up with Ezra. What now?
Yeah.
What now, Mona? And it would have been for her benefit to break up. I mean, to be fair, he was so hot. So.
Yeah. She was like, I'm not doing that, sorry. I'd rather take the torture.
Can you imagine the sleepovers between the 4 of them? And they're like, you know, all of your texts from A kind of revolve around Ezra. Like, you could just break up with him. Yeah. Like, you know, is it really worth it? And she's like, is it really worth it? No. No.
I'm not breaking up with him, you guys. I'm sorry. I'd literally rather be, like, tortured every day.
She literally was.
Yeah.
Literally locked in the dollhouse. All she had to do was break up with Ezra.
Yeah.
then what would A have had over her?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Granted, those girls always seem to get themselves into more trouble.
They did.
So,
every decision they made was always the worst one.
They always made the poorest decision. But when we meet Hannah, we find out that her and Mona have actually become besties in the time since our prologue.
Good for them.
They both got like
would have
extreme
loved it
makeovers.
if the whole plot of this book was just Hannah and Mona being friends. The end.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't, because
Mona did nothing wrong.
I don't know about that one. But yeah, they're at the mall together and they're shopping, and they both like went on this extreme makeover, had got new hair, went on like an extreme workout diet. Like
They look like little Allisons.
Yeah, basically. And they literally like are flashing old dudes in the mall, like
insanity. There's a line from Hannah's chapter. Yeah. She said, I'm reading this book from Ali's collection, and Lolita looks deliciously dirty. If we were gonna cut any line, why didn't we cut that one?
It's not a good one.
It's not a good line.
And then they go to steal from Tiffany's.
Yeah, in the show she steals a pair of sunglasses, and it's like, sure, pair of sunglasses.
In this, she takes a diamond Tiffany's bracelet and like earrings, diamond earrings.
No shit, you got caught, girl.
Right.
Start at Urban Outfitters.
You like start small and then work your way up. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And Mona also steals like a necklace or something like that. And
you think Mona called the cops on her?
100%, I think Mona called the cops on her. 100%.
Because the cops show up.
Yeah.
Officer Darren Weldon, who also was hot, unfortunately. His character sucked, but the actor was really hot. Shows up at her door, and he takes Hannah to jail, and she gets a text from A that says, I hear prison food makes you fat. Oh! Iconic A text. Iconic A text.
Iconic A text.
Yeah.
And really hit its mark, because I was like, wow.
Yeah, no.
Scared me straight.
2006 was
a different time.
It was a really scary time to be a woman.
I know.
I mean, I'm not sure it's that much better now, but
Yeah.
I don't think that would have been put in the book if it were published today. That's what doesn't make sense about republishing in 2020, is none of this should have been published in 2020.
Yeah.
In 2006?
It needs to stay.
Yeah, it needed to happen.
Time reference, for sure.
Yeah, it belongs in Abercrombie & Fitch.
Yeah. They should sell them there. Seriously.
Not anymore.
True, they've changed.
Yeah.
But we finally move on to Spencer. Spencer, we meet...
Well, going back to Hannah, actually, Hannah gets out of this is important, Hannah gets out of the charges because her mom literally fucks Wilden. And, like, okay, I'm sorry, but they tried to make her mom seem like she's being a bad mom by not parenting Hannah for this. I don't know, that's a felony charge.
Yeah.
That's a felony right there. So, yeah, I mean, like, she probably should have reprimanded her a little bit more.
Yeah.
However, if I'm that mom, I'm like, I just got my daughter out of a felony charge.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely...
She totally should have parented more. And Hannah's struggle with her mom is that her mom is always working and that her mom doesn't actually care about parenting her. And it's like, well, I mean, you did shoplift. I guess, like, if she hadn't gotten you out of those charges, you would have gotten a
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she definitely, you know what I'm saying? There's something to say about her doing that just to help her daughter. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But also, like, that's not parenting your kid, and it's not the way to go about it either. So.
I'm just saying.
No, but it's definitely...
This chapter, we find out that Hannah lost all her weight by being bulimic, which sucks.
Yeah.
But again, I think so incredibly important to talk about, because I feel like bulimia is the one that gets overlooked the most because it's the least sexy, so to speak. People who are anorexic are viewed as, like, just people with willpower, you know? And then it's like, oh, they're the ones that are really, really sick. Like, you can tell she looks sick. She's lost so much weight. When it's, like, people who are bulimic are also damaging their bodies, but they're just maybe not as skinny, which is why people don't want to talk about them as much. I think she made the right call by advocating for this one in particular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Both awful, but I think bulimia is just not... Or, I don't know. From my experience, it's not talked about as much. Or you just don't see it. It's. I feel like a lot of the times it's also, like... It seems easier to hide it, you know what I mean? From the people around you. Which I guess also makes it harder or more difficult to have that conversation, because it's just, like, how do you know when someone's...
My family accused me of being bulimic once.
Oh.
I wasn't.
Oh.
On my birthday. I wasn't.
Not that giggle.
Because it's insane.
Yeah. Now, the next chapter, we meet Spencer. I'm just going to go through the 4 of them, and then we can kind of just move through everything else.
The queen.
My queen.
Spencer.
She's our preppy girl. She's an academic.
I always wanted to dress like Spencer.
Yeah, she's so preppy. And...
Preppy in the original meaning of the word.
Yeah.
In the biblical meaning of the word.
Yeah. And in the books, her family is, like, scary wealthy. Scary wealthy.
I thought you were just gonna say scary.
Oh, scary too, but like
scary and horrendous to her.
Yeah, horrendous to her. We met her sister in the prologue, but we meet her sister again. And when we open with her chapter, her family is meeting Melissa and her new boyfriend,
her
Ren.
British PhD candidate. Wait,
Right.
no, scratch that. Her British medical. What even is the word I'm trying to use?
He's a medical resident.
Help!
He's a medical resident.
Her British medical resident fiance.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
If I'm Spencer, I'm killing myself too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be like, some people have it all.
Spencer really folded immediately. And
I would have too.
To be fair, Spencer...
You can't bring a British person around me.
Spencer has a lot of family issues. Like, her family treats her like boo-boo garbage. Like, they really... dismiss her and don't pay attention to her unless she achieves things or like is the greatest at something. She has a lot of like animosity towards her sister for that. So because her sister's like
just good at everything.
Perfect, yeah. So I don't know. I think it's like subconsciously she's like
Melissa
goes after all.
I feel like Melissa wasn't that bad in the books.
I agree.
She was just kind of like a bitchy older sister.
Yeah.
Which, like, I feel like everyone's sister is kind of a bitch to them when you're that age because
Yeah.
16-year-olds are annoying and also you think you know better than everyone. There's nothing. I will take this to my grave. There's no one worse than an 18-year-old who just graduated high school.
Oh my
They
God.
think they are the smartest people, and I'm talking about myself.
Yeah.
They think they are the smart. You can't tell them anything.
No, I couldn't be talked to.
Yeah. Like, absolutely not. So, like,
Yeah.
I totally get why I totally get why they didn't like each other. I bet they were
Yeah.
both annoying as fuck.
Yeah. Plus, it's just like with
But in the
siblings-
show, I will admit, Melissa's fucking mean.
No, there definitely something like to say about sister relationships. Like you're always gonna go through a phase where like there's just like the energy's bad. The energy's bad. But yeah, in the show, Melissa is awful.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Melissa's, yeah.
Holy hell.
Melissa's pretty bad in this first book, too.
Yeah.
Once what happens, but
Yeah.
we'll get there.
But we meet Ren, and they're at the dinner table, and they're all talking, and they all are just kind of putting a lot of attention on Melissa, and the only person who's giving her any kind of real attention is Ren, and so, at one point, she, like, runs out of the restaurant to have a smoke, which is, like...
It smells like marshmallows. That is so 2000... Smell it.
Oh, it does. What the hell? But she runs out of the restaurant to have a smoke, which is so hilarious
very
that she's
2012.
16.
It's like,
Oh, for sure, but it's just, like, the idea of it's so, like, hilarious.
yeah, and that's something, again, historical context.
Yeah.
That wouldn't... I feel like they'd be vaping.
Yeah, now they'd be vaping, for sure.
I was
yeah.
literally about to say, I feel like nobody smokes. That would be stupid of me to say. That would just be stupid.
But yeah. And Ren comes out and follows her there, and they have a little, kind of innocent flirt.
A little flirty chat. Ren, you're going to prison, too.
Yeah, actually. I do a lot of talking about Ezra, but I don't talk enough about Ren.
We will get there.
We will, but, yeah.
When you go to prison, he deserved what he got getting made into that necklace.
Yeah. So, we kind of did our 4 introductory chapters. Now I think we can just kind of, like... I think we can kind of just, like, spitball what happens to them, because this is, like, literally... This book is so short. It's literally episode 1. Until we get to the end. Like, the funeral and everything. But, I think
You
we can
can
kind of...
spitball.
We can... I can.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go girl by girl. So I'm
Okay.
gonna start with Emily. After she first meets Maya, she...
Things start to go awry quickly.
Yeah, she immediately starts skipping swimming practice, and her parents freak the fuck out. And she wants to, like, hang out with Maya after school. They go to this one day. They go and they swim at this like waterfall river that's in town.
So romantic.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, I used to, like, walk here with Allie sometimes, and all this stuff. She one day walks Maya home from school, and she, like, leads her through the backyard, which is a way her and Allie used to walk, and she sees on the tree where she carved, like, E+A. And is talking about it, and I think, I don't know, there's, like, so many moments in here where, like, my tender heart was, like, kind of breaking for her, because you can just tell
Allie was so homophobic to the poor...
Awful to her.
The fact that they ended up together is so fucking sad.
I know.
And I get that internalized homophobia is a thing, and that's definitely why Allie was, like, projecting.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't cope with her own feelings, but Emily just deserves so much better. She
Yeah.
deserves someone that actually liked her.
Yeah, it was...
And was comfortable with their sexuality. There's nothing wrong with not being comfortable with your sexuality, but Emily was, and she deserves someone to be, like, a romantic partner for her.
Yeah.
Because all of her fucking girlfriends fucking sucked, except for Maya. But Maya was just weird. And then she died! What the fuck? My poor girl, Emily!
Yeah, I don't know, there's, like, reading...
And then she had to date Paige!
Oh,
Fuck you, Paige.
I fucking hated Paige. Another one when I get you. You should go on the lam. But reading it, I was just like, it's so, like, sad to watch her struggle so much with how she's feeling and, like, trying to even understand, like, that her feelings for her aren't just friendship, but, like romantic love. And it's almost, like, bittersweet in a way, because it's very, like, innocent and, like, tender and, like, very, like, she, like, truly loves her, you know?
Yeah.
But also really sad, because every time she has a memory about it, she thinks also about how homophobic and mean Allie was to her about it.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know. Anyway. But back to Maya. She starts, like, skipping swim practice, and her parents won't have it, because apparently all of her siblings have been, like, pro athletes, have gone on to swim in college and all this stuff, and her parents, like, you need to get a fucking swim scholarship. You are not quitting the swim team. Like, you need to go to swim. You need to go swim. And she was like, oh, okay. Granted, while this is also happening, right, she's, you know, starting to see her feelings with Maya.
She's starting to fucking hate Ben.
She's starting to fucking hate Ben. A lot. She's like, I'm realizing I don't want to hang out with him at all. I'd rather hang out with Maya than hang out with him.
Also, such a great representation of compet and realizing what's going on with your compet feelings.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel like before she met Maya and before she was even willing to, like, confront those feelings, she was like, I don't know why I don't like kissing him, I just don't.
Yeah.
Well, guess I'll just kiss him.
I don't
know. Like, I feel like that's actually, like, so real.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
She really did her big one.
She did.
Queen.
She did.
Send us signed copies if you love us.
Yeah, so that's kind of what is happening with Emily at school. With Aria, she gets back to school and she's kind of slowly being reintroduced to everyone. I don't think she even sees, like, Hannah or Emily until, like, way later in the book.
No, they bump into each other, like, right, like, first day back, and Emily's like, oh my god, what the fuck? You're here? And then she bumps into Hannah and is like, oh my god, Hannah's so skinny. Bitch, girl!
Yeah.
Come on now!
Yeah.
That's insane. She's like, oh my god, wait, Hannah's popular? You
And why
carried
is that
on a
talking to
puppet
you?
in 7th grade. So don't piss me off.
But she gets to school, and when she's there on the first day, she's like, oh, this is great, whatever. She sits down, lo and behold, who was her teacher for her 11th grade English?
It's Ezra, and he literally turns around and is like, he either says, like, holy fuck, or holy shit, or holy crap, or something. Yeah, something like that.
Holy crap.
So stupid. You are such an idiot.
In front of the entire class.
Yeah.
And he's staring right at her, obviously.
His very funny response is, a bee flew into my pants and I was frightened it would sting me. That's like that's what it says. Very funny, very hee hee ha ha.
Yeah.
And Aria gets her first A text in the studio with these lines, these bars.
Aria, surprise! I wonder what your pig puppet will have to say about this. ... A.
Oh, never mind. That's not the iconic text that I was thinking of. She was not, in fact, Taylor Swift in the studio with them. I thought it was, I wonder if he fools around with all his students. I hear a lot of teachers do. Just ask your dad.
That was in the show.
Okay, they were Taylor Swift in the studio.
Yeah.
Very iconic text. And he's so annoying about it. He, basically tells her, no, you're my student, sorry. And that doesn't last very fucking long.
No, at all.
God.
And the funny part is...
He should have quit. If he was a decent human being, he would have been like, I can take a year off. Well...
He should have just moved. Because if you weren't able to, if you are not able to control yourself...
Yeah.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We need teachers in schools. Someone else will hire you.
Yeah. Say you have to go home because your mom is sick, and go home and then apply somewhere else.
Never come back.
To go back to Emily anyway.
To go back to Emily, the text that she got after the whole carving in the tree situation.
Oh, I know what it is.
Hey Em, sob, I've been replaced. You found another friend to kiss. A. That is actually so traumatic. To find out that someone knows that secret is really scary. That's so scary.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, Arya's secret was your hot ass teacher, and Emily's is homophobia.
Literally!
What the fuck?
Oh my god. Now, with Spencer, I was not done yet. Arya, the funny part is that Arya uses Noel Khan to make Ezra jealous.
And
because
works.
In the books, she has Noel Khan is like a regular fucking dude.
They end up together, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they end up together. And she
Until he dies later in the series. She's killing bitches left and right.
I know.
The
stakes were high.
Yeah.
The stakes were high. But Noel Khan is just like, kind of there being a dude. And she's like using him OD, like flirting with him hard.
And he loves her.
To get Ezra's
they
attention.
Were so
and it
cute,
works.
actually. Noel Khan in the books was actually really
liked
cute.
Noel Khan in the books. I really did.
Yeah. Why did the show have to do that to him?
I know.
I will admit that every time something went awry, didn't matter what it was, they could have had soggy pizza for lunch and they would be like, this is the work of Noel Khan.
That is so true. They blamed everything. Somehow they always looped back around
Jenna,
to him.
Spencer, Jenna, Melissa, or Noel Khan, or Ian.
You guys, we have debunked this 8 times already.
Yeah,
it's not them.
Khan.
I don't know how many times you're gonna circle back to this one. It's
Noel
not
Khan,
them.
honestly, there should have been an arc where he was like, I'm tired of getting accused of something I didn't do.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm gonna start stalking you now.
Yeah.
I can't do this shit anymore.
Not doing it anymore.
I want the rest of your Diet Coke.
Go for it. Now, hopping over to Spencer, she is just busy being, the most
student body president, AP Physics, field hockey, being a size 2.
Being in the school play, like all of those things. She's got a lot under her belt.
She's busy.
She goes to her lacrosse practices and field hockey, her field hockey practices, and lo and behold, Ian Thomas is the new field hockey coach.
She literally shows her ass to him, and he, a faculty member, is like, oh my god, you're flirting with me. Another one of you who needs to go to prison. How many are there?
Well, I think in this book, Ian wasn't...
No, at least he was a creep.
I mean, he was a creep, but we were more focused on Ren in this one. Because...
Well, they were both bad.
Yeah, I'm not saying he was good.
Well, he kissed her when she was 13.
Yeah.
He was 18.
It's disgusting.
That's so gross. That's worse, I would argue, than 23 and 17.
I mean, it's really just all
Actually,
awful.
You know what? They're both bad. What?
The theme...
He can't traumatize any more children.
Yeah. He was awful. He really, the
coaching field hockey.
He should not be around kids.
No.
But a lot of the theme of her chapters are, her and Ren kind of having, will they, won't they moments. She keeps coming back from field hockey, with such sores in her back and on her leg, and she's like,
in her own home, gets in her own hot tub, and then he gets in there with her in his fucking undies. Yeah. There is no world on this planet where I would see a child, a 17-year-old, in a bra and undies, and get in a hot tub with her also in my bra and undies.
No. And he gives her he gives her a massage. In another chapter,
disgusting.
She's in her bathroom and he rubs some kind of vapor rub situation on her butt.
Yeah.
And
you know what? She was such a victim. Mm-hmm. She was a double victim with Ren because he was a medical student. So she definitely easily was like, oh, he's just being nice. He's just because when someone kind of like me, when they start a new job and suddenly they know everything about that job and they just want to flex that knowledge.
Yeah.
Double victim. He's 23 and dating my sister, plus he's in medical school. I mean, no shit, he wants to help me feel better. You know what I'm saying?
I think it was more so her being
she was such a victim.
She was definitely a victim, and I think it was more so he definitely was flexing his medical knowledge
to make it seem less weird.
To make it seem less weird, but reading her thoughts, she's yeah, he shouldn't be touching me, but like I want to do it, and I want to kiss him, and I want, and all this all makes her a victim. Not saying that she but
he was absolutely preying on her in these moments.
Yeah, I don't think she was going into it like, oh, he's just giving me like a very innocent massage. Like she wanted, and I think it was a lot of like her unconsciously trying to like
outshine her sister.
But again,
she was such a victim.
She was a victim in her home, like
literally
oh
in
my God,
own home.
In her own home. And there has been during this time as well, Melissa and Ren are supposed to be moving in together, and they're supposed to be living at this apartment in Philly, and it's getting renovated. So the parents are like, why don't you just come back and stay in the barn? And Spencer's like, yo, you guys told me that I could stay in the barn if I got the grades and if I did everything I needed to.
If I'm 17 years old and I'm about to move into the barn and move into basically my own home.
Yeah.
And my parents are like, well, your sister's here. Well, guess what? I'm going to kill her.
No.
Guess what? She's dead on the floor because I just stabbed her because I want to live in the barn. Well, absolutely no fucking chance.
They're like, well, you can stay in your room and Melissa and him will be in the barn. And that's just the way it's going to be. And she's like, so upset. But then she achieves, she gets like an amazing score on her PSAT, and her parents are so proud of her because they only reward her and show her love when she makes an achievement, that they're like, you know what, we'll let you be in the barn, and Melissa and Ren can sleep in her fucking twin bed in her bedroom. And it's her parents just like dangle.
Also,
love in front
I
of
feel
her
like
face.
that really makes her seem so young.
Yeah.
Not even her SATs. Her fucking PSATs.
Yeah.
And Ren hears that and he's like, she's so hot. What is wrong with you?
Disgusting. Now, I want to bring up her first A text as well. Spencer, covet is an easy one. When someone covets something, they desire and lust after it. Usually it's something they can't have. You've always had that problem, though, haven't you? A. Ooh. I will say, though, that first episode really did a good job of, like, mirroring this book very well, because after this, she looks, and in the show, this happens exactly the same way, too. She gets an email from A, her first email from A, and then she looks over, because her and Allie's bedroom windows face each other. She looks over at the window, and she sees, like, a flash of blonde hair. That's exactly how it happened in the book, too. That was really interesting.
I will say, that is the biggest plot hole. I'm not sure if they explain it. I read 9 out of 16, so I didn't read the full 16. Mm-hmm. But Mona was A, obviously. Mm-hmm. But she was not in Maya's house.
No, I think she was just imagining it. Like, I think the fear of being like, oh my god, Allie's back, made her see that. I don't think it was like actually anyone was there. Is what I think.
Well, they also used to be like, they heard a lilting giggle.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either. That's why I'm confused.
I don't know. In this part, I just assumed that she was just like having like a very vivid
hallucination.
Yeah. Now, moving to Hannah. As we were talking about before, her whole situation.
Her mom is fucking willed in.
Her mom is fucking willed in to get her out of these.
Her dad is getting married to her stepmom. She also has a gored blonde sister that's a size 2. Stepsister that has a size 2.
Kate. And she kind of, in her chapters, she reminisces a lot about the first time she ever made herself throw up. And how Allie was there for it and encouraged her to. She talks a lot about just like how that first meeting the stepmom and Kate, just how much that affected her, obviously.
Awful, because her dad... She's eating, and then her dad calls her a little piggy.
I mean, really sad.
So mean.
It's really, really mean. And I don't know, the way she talks about it, like, you can tell just, like, how much of a fucking traumatic experience that was for her.
What a weight she carries.
Yeah, with that. For, like, years to come. And... yeah, that's a lot of what her chapters are about. And... her mom and her felony charges. She has a boyfriend, Sean Ackard. And Sean has taken a virginity pledge. And...
like a loser.
No. No. Hannah herself wants to have sex. Sean doesn't, which is totally fine.
Can I just say, I know I just called him a loser, but that was obviously a joke. But also, there's something sinister about Sean.
Oh, I agree. Something a little sinister about him. Not obviously the fact that he doesn't want to have sex, but like,
no.
Aside from that.
I just feel like he wasn't like fair to her at all about it. He did it without even telling her and then expected her to be on board. And I'm not saying you can ever push anybody to have sex, but I am saying that like if you are leading up to that and you are doing, you know, you're 16, you're fooling around in your bedroom, whatever, and then you decide you're going to take a virginity pledge, you need to communicate that to your partner. And he doesn't do that. He just tells her in front of everyone. That should be something that you two have a one-on-one conversation. And you discuss in that moment, is this something we can continue to do? Because I'm not changing my mind.
Yeah, he does mention it very offhandedly to her in front of like a ton of other people, and she's like, whoa, what? Granted, I don't think either of them handled that situation well at all.
But I love Hannah. She's my girl. So
I do too.
Ultimately,
but
I will always defend her.
I do too, I do too, but I also remind myself that she is 16 and doesn't know how to handle things properly.
Yeah.
And going through like so many other things at the same time also doesn't excuse that I think that she was like trying to pressure him to have sex. She was. Yeah. She was trying to pressure him to have sex, and that was very wrong of her. He also made her feel awful and basically called her a slut.
Yeah.
For wanting to have sex, which is also awful. So they were like both wrong on both sides. Like, and I think again, just his like whole virginity pact like aside, I think that he is just not. She puts him on a pedestal because he was the person that she had liked since she was a child, and when she, you know, had her makeover, he finally like saw her and started dating her, and she just like adores him for that. And I think she doesn't obviously she doesn't recognize.
I'm pretty sure she goes on to date Lucas. Are you fucking kidding me?
In the books?
I'm pretty sure.
Lucas is in the books? I thought he was. I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure she fucking digs Lucas.
I don't remember him being
Caleb
in the
was
books.
her man.
Yeah. Oh, the text comes the first time she goes to the fucking precinct with her mom. Hey, Hannah, since prison food makes you fat, you know what Sean's gonna say? Not it. Referencing an old, like, bullying tactic that her and the other girls shared where they would look at someone and say, not it. If someone ever did that to me, if I heard, like, a group of girls look at me and go, not it.
Well, they got it from Jason and his friends.
Oh, yeah.
The not it in question would be, that's the ugly girl, you gotta entertain. That is so triggering to me, because have you ever, I don't know if this ever happens to you, but sometimes when I go out to the bar with a certain friend of mine, I feel like the fat friend that the men have to come up and talk to first. And I'm like, listen, you don't need to talk to me, I don't really care. She's going to think you're ugly. But then they blame you, because they're like, oh, well, the friend doesn't want to ditch the ugly one. The ugly one doesn't care. And also, why am I the ugly one?
The ugly one likes to hang out by herself. I actually don't like talking to people.
Yeah, I know. I hate when a man comes up to you and his friend is talking to you and it's like so obvious that he's not interested. It's like, we can just stand here.
We don't need to talk to each other. I would prefer we don't talk to each
We
other.
can just stand here.
You do not have to entertain me, Mama. I don't care about you.
Yeah.
And you don't care about me either.
Yeah.
But
one time I was literally at the club. I've told this story, and I might have even told the story on the podcast. But one time I was talking to a man at the club, and he was hitting on my friend, and then he turned to me and he was like, "Oh yeah, what's your name again?" And I was like, "Does it matter?" And he got really offended that I said that. And I was like, "Well, you clearly don't care about me at all, because you're hitting on my friend."
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? I'm gonna be like, oh, like, what do you mean? Like, does it matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Does it matter?
It doesn't.
No.
When I read that, I highlighted. I'm pretty sure I highlighted it in my book because I was like, "This
have you ever felt like that?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot, actually, a lot. This is so triggering.
We can just stand here, Mama.
Like,
unless you're gonna buy me a drink, we can just stand here, Mama.
The idea of all these guys standing there looking at me and going, "Not it," and then sending the one who was too slow to entertain me because I'm the ugliest
and you know
one.
He's walking up like,
I know. Oh my god, I hate that. Triggering as fuck. Oh man. That's awful. It's fucking awful. But I kind of want to now kind of pull everything together now to the night of the NoCon, infamous NoCon party. Awry. Yeah. So the girls have all been getting like little texts here and there throughout all the things that I've been mentioning just now.
But it's nothing too crazy yet. It's just like, I know your secret.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, and it's not threatening yet.
Yeah, and all of the girls have kind of been like, oh, like, is Allie back? Or, like, what's the vibe? Is the prank? Yeah, I don't understand, like, what's going on. And they haven't spoken to each other about it at all. They haven't even spoken to each other, period. really.
Yeah.
I think at one point Emily,
she's like about to tell Arya, and then she's like, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, she bikes to her house and
like, books it out of there.
Yeah. So, yeah, also want to mention that apparently Emily like, quits swimming in this first book, which I was like, Emily swam for a long time in the show.
Swimming was a big deal to Emily in the books.
Anyway, the Noel Con party is this like infamous party that they throw every single year for like literally all the teenagers in Rosewood, and it's just like this is
huge
what I thought
banger.
High school
was gonna be like.
Yeah,
and it just wasn't.
Like Project X. Have you seen that movie?
I haven't, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like literally, I thought this was high school was gonna be like. I didn't get invited to a single party. I got invited to one party.
I got invited to one party too, and that's because my friend was throwing it.
Yeah, same. And it was a graduation party, mind you. It was like, anyway. But yeah, the night of the party, Spencer doesn't go because she wants to study and she gets to move into the barn. So she's like, I want to like be in my barn tonight and organize and just have a nice night in.
Girl, get serious.
Lo and behold, Ren shows up at her door.
No.
He's like, give me a little tour. Give me a little tour of your barn. And she's like, okay. And she says in her head, like, I purposefully wore my cutest lounge outfit in just the hopes that he was gonna pop by, and he obviously did.
She's so mean.
Yeah. And just, unfortunately, they start making out.
It's just so unfortunate. She made a bad choice.
Yeah, they start making out.
She was a victim, but she also made a bad choice.
Yeah. They start making out bad, and, like, shirts off bad, like, going somewhere bad. And they, thank God, didn't go all the way, because Ren goes to the bathroom, and by the time he comes back, Melissa is standing outside the window, and she sees both of them, and,
oof, it was bad. She should have just gone to the party.
It was bad. The next morning, literally, she comes in.
Breaks fucking loose.
Her parents and Melissa are sitting at the kitchen table, and they're like, I am ashamed to call you my child. You are moving back into your room immediately, and Melissa's moving into the barn. Like, you are a disgrace. You're disgusting. Like, they call her out her name so much, like, and just make her feel awful. Did she do an awful thing? Yes. Yes, she did.
But it's crazy to me that, like, they didn't, like, it would never, ever, ever be my first instinct to blame the 17-year-old that was sitting in a room. Like, I feel like, honestly, if Melissa were to have a therapist or some friends and she was like, I don't understand why she kissed him, you know? Like, I get that he's 23 and, like, she's a victim too, but, like, it's totally okay to have those feelings. Yeah. It is insanity to outwardly make her feel bad for it, though.
Her parents. I understand Melissa being like, you're awful, you're disgusting, I hate you, because she's also, like, what, 22 or something? Yeah. And, you know, the thing happened to her. Yeah. But her parents should be like, we should find out why this even happened in the first place, see if she's okay, like, make sure that, like, we take care of her, because she's a victim. Made a poor choice, but she's a victim. So, I don't know, their behavior was so, like, her parents was so, it wasn't giving parents.
No. It was so victim blamey.
Yeah.
Like, especially because, like, it was in her room. Like, he showed up to her barn. He had the intention walking in that door.
And he knew.
He knew what he was going to do.
Yeah, and he knew that she was going to let him.
Yeah. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
For you to blame her.
Yeah.
And Melissa calls her a whore, which I thought was pretty harsh.
That was intense.
Yeah.
Intense. Now, at the party that night, Arya goes to the party only because she flirted OD with Noel Con.
Well, and she thought for some reason she was like, Ezra might be at this party. And then when she gets there, she's like, wait, that was stupid.
Yeah, she was like, wait, he wouldn't come to this party. He's an adult. But her plan worked because Ezra texts her and he's like, hey, what are you doing right now? And she's like, yes!
And she's like, coming over? And
he's like, yeah. And so she goes to his apartment and they have sex, don't they? Or they just fool around?
Yeah.
Okay, they just fool around a little bit. And but then after they fool around, she gets a text from A. Like, also, I thought this was really scary that A was just sending her relentless, like, text after the same text over and over and over and over and over and over.
Enough to make her phone vibrate like it's ringing.
Yeah, that's scary. That's really scary to me. And she freaks out so bad that she just, like, drops her phone and runs out of his apartment and leaves.
Also would never happen in the year 2020. What's the point of republishing. Nobody ever goes anywhere without their phone anymore.
No, I'm taking that with me.
No, like, literally no.
Yeah.
I need Spotify.
Yeah. Now, for Hannah, she stays at the party, and her plan that night is to, like, have sex with Sean in the forest. Yeah. And she gets really, really wasted.
Yeah, that's just so bad.
It's really, really bad. And, like, her and Mona are, like, serving boots down, obviously. Mona's off somewhere with another con brother getting stoned. So to speak. As far as we know. But, you know, obviously she's not.
Oh, that's her cover story.
That's her cover story. No, she's somewhere getting stoned.
I was like, you think they were doing acid?
No, but what?
No. Are you?
That's her cover story. But Hannah pulls Sean into the forest at some point and tries to, you know, start some stuff up. And this is the point where Sean basically calls her a slut, and he's like, you, like, look, I think he said something like, look at yourself.
You're pathetic.
You're pathetic. And she's like, that was so mean and awful. Again,
so she steals his car keys and crashes his fucking car.
Her and Mona go to Wawa and get Sammy's. They get fucked up. They're literally like racing on the highway, and then she totals
she
his
should
BMW.
not have pushed him. She should not have tried to push him into having sex. However, if somebody called me pathetic, yeah, things would be bad.
I just don't have anything to say. Things would be really awful. Like, again, if I take out the part about her trying to pressure him to have sex,
yeah,
I can sit there and read her crashing his car and be like, the girl boss is down. What can she do? Like,
diva down.
Yeah. So, and her and Mona literally just, like, get out of the car and walk away.
They literally laugh.
They're like, LOL, let's go home. And this car is, like, a fancy-ass, like,
it's like a BMW.
BMW.
Yeah. If I ever crashed a BMW, I would immediately vomit. I'd be like, well, I have to crash it more, so I'll die.
That's what, you took the words right out of my mouth. Like, I need to get back in and try again. Because I clearly didn't do it hard enough. Why? I can't, no. Now, moving to...
Hannah almost did nothing wrong.
Almost. The next morning, obviously, Wilden shows up at her house, and he's like, girl, you gotta go to the police station.
He's like, girl, come on!
And then she's like,
he's actually being pretty chill.
Yeah, I think Wilden in the books is, like, nice.
Not that bad.
Yeah, I mean...
Obviously still a creep.
He's still a creep, but, like, nice. Where, like,
he's like, I'm not even... I have to cuff you, but, like,
yeah.
You can sit in the front seat. Like, we'll just go figure out what happened.
Yeah, and he takes her back to the precinct again. Ugh, Ashley's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, she kind of deserves it.
Yeah, she does. Of course, Mona is nowhere to be found, because I'm pretty sure Mona is the one who called it in. Because
she put on a hat right before she walked into Wawa.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah.
But you know what's weird is that, like, Mona, I feel like, is such a normal friend during all these instances. It is so strange that, like...
I know. That's why the first time the reveal happens,
that
reveal was so shocking.
Yeah.
I still remember how shocked I was.
We all know where we were.
Yeah, we all do. Now, popping over to Emily, she goes to the party with Ben, even though her parents have grounded her for deciding to quit swim. But they let her go because Ben is like, I'll take her to the party.
They're hoping Ben will talk her back into it.
Yeah, because her mom's kind of like, why? They have a conversation where her mom is like, why are you even doing this? Is this because of that new girl? I don't like their family. This is weird. And
because Emily's white in the books.
Yeah.
And
Emily basically is like, oh.
What do you mean? I think she says something like those people or something like that.
And she keeps saying, like, I don't like them, whatever. Even in her head, she's like, Maya's parents are, like, doctors or something. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why is she acting like that? Why is she
talking like that?
Yeah, and then she's like, oh, my mom is racist.
And I actually really liked, again, in this book, like, I'm not saying white people are victims, don't get mad at me. But I am saying that it is a very difficult thing to come to terms with when you don't have those beliefs yourself, and then you see your parents say, like, horrendous things. It's like, oh, well, now I have to come to terms with the fact that you suck. God damn it. And on top of that, I'm gay.
Yeah, that must be very shocking.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It must be extremely, like, a shock to the system.
Yeah.
But
something you, like, couldn't even consider about your parents is that they could be bad people. And then you find out that they are, and it's like, oh.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Hey.
But Maya ends up showing up, and she peels off with her at some point when Ben goes to get her a beer, because she's like, obviously, I don't want to fucking hang out with that loser.
I spit. But yeah.
Then her and...
They're actually, that sounds so scary, drinking a beer with a man.
Oh my god, I've been there, and it's terrifying.
Outside? No. No.
Let's not talk about it. No. Your
life sentence is drinking beer with men in a forest.
That's mine. No! That's mine. Mine is sharing a natty light with a man and I can never leave.
A natty light.
I hate the fact that I know what that is. Like, the fact that that word came off my tongue just now.
You know what? I will say, I've been single for 5 years, but I do, like, sometimes I hear you people. I hear you, people who have dated people. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my god, thank god that's not me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hear them, they're like, yeah, like, he only makes me come with a vibrator, but he's really hot. Sometimes I hear those words and that's my face. I go, it could be so much worse.
Yeah. Things can always get worse. Thank god that's not me, though. You be safe. When Emily and her peel off together, or Emily and Maya peel off together, they end up in the photo booth. Iconic scene from the show where her and Maya, I mean, in the show it's a little bit more friendly and they're like just kind of like hanging around and like, no, sexy too. I know. But I'm saying like in the book they have like a very deep conversation.
Oh yeah.
In the photo booth where like Maya basically
comes out
to her, and they talk Emily talks about Allie for real for the first time with her, because before she just kind of was like, oh, I knew the girl who lived here. Then she was like, oh, I was friends with the girl who lived here. And now she's like, okay, yeah,
I'll level with you.
Yeah, I'll be for real. Like, I was in love with her, and, you know, she tells her all of the lore. She tells her the lore. And they both share a lot, and then they end up kissing. In the show, it's very much like, we're taking photos, ooh, oh shit, we're kissing.
Yeah.
You know? But...
Oh, they were like, we're already having a gay couple on screen, we're not doing all that. It's 2010.
So let's not do too much. But this scene in the book was really, 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 really upsetting to read, because while they're kissing, like they're not even just kissing, they're like making out, like shirts coming off, all kinds of stuff is happening, and then Ben like whips open the curtain of the photo booth, and he like stalks off, and they both run out, and she's like, oh, it's not what it is, like, I'm sorry, like, whatever, and he throws his drink at Emily, and then he just throws it at Emily, and it hits her feet, and then he purposefully throws the next drink in Maya's face, and then he calls them a horrific slur. It was awful to read. He deserves jail for that one.
Yeah. All the men in these books like really deserve jail.
Awful men in these books.
Especially Ian Thomas. There's something about him. I hate him so much.
Yeah.
I think it's just because like he's just like in the show too much.
In the show he's just in season
there,
1 he's like ever
all
present
the time.
Yeah.
And it's like I just like he's a creep, but like he doesn't in the same way that they blame everything on Noquan, they blame everything on Ian, and he was certainly a creep, but like he wasn't doing anything that weird in the first seasons.
Yeah.
Obviously not what I'm talking about. But like just like when he comes back and is a teacher, he's just like being a teacher, and they're like
Yeah.
It's like, I cannot talk about this man anymore.
One of the liars is like, you guys, honestly, I can't talk about him anymore. I'm over it. Like, I don't think it's him, and enough is enough.
And if we keep bringing him up, he's gonna appear, and I can't look at him anymore.
And he does.
We can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Now, this brings us to, obviously, I kind of mentioned the things that happened the day after, but as all of this, you know, the morning after situations are unfolding, Spencer in her house with her parents, Hannah's at the precinct, Emily is just biking around town feeling lost and confused, and Arya wakes up the next morning and she's looking for her phone and she can't find it. And she goes to Ezra's apartment.
And she's like, hey!
And he's like, get out of my sight.
Yeah. He screams and yells at her.
Mm-hmm, which is really horrifying.
Yeah, I know. When I was reading it, I didn't remember that either.
Yeah.
Because I think I was like, oh, he has a right to be mad. Which, like, I mean, I guess he kind of does. Like, she should know better than to tell people she's fucking his teacher. But you should know better than to fuck your student. Like, you shouldn't be yelling. You should just be like, hey, like, I fucked up bad. And
we shouldn't be doing
this. This is so inappropriate.
Yeah.
And, like, now that I'm in the daylight, like, I'm just starting to realize, like, And also, it looks like you might have told people on your phone. Please do some damage to control, you know, like, it is insanity that he's yelling at her, and he's, like, pounding his fist on the wall, and, like, loud enough for her to be, like, startled.
Yeah. So weird.
Prison.
Yeah. I mean, he just sees the texts from A that were coming in all night, and he just assumes that she told people, and
if she told people, then maybe she should have told the police.
If suddenly he's like, oh my god, there are consequences to my actions. Like...
I mean, I guess at the end of the day, he's a 23-year-old man. Do you know a lot of 23-year-old men that know about consequences to their actions?
No, I don't think I know one.
Me either.
Yeah. Now, while this is all unfolding, at the end of all these chapters, they're all kind of like, I'm hearing sirens, and the police are on the street, and there's something's happening. The something in question is that we kind of get to it in Emily's chapter. She's biking down the street, and she notices that all of these like cop cars and ambulances and everything are headed towards Maya's house.
And we start hearing that song.
Yeah,
you know the one.
Yeah. Yes.
It just takes a second
to your world to come crumbling down. And the guy on the piano's like doing dun 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 dun. Yeah. That song just scared me bad.
Yeah.
Every time it came on, I was like, someone's dead. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-oh. They found Allie's body.
They found Allie's body. They found Allie's body buried underneath a slab of cement where her family was going to put up a gazebo.
Awful.
That's really, 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 really awful. And it's really sad because Emily comes up there and she's like, oh my god, they found, like, Maya runs out and she's like, oh, they found your friend. And Emily's like, oh my god, I knew she was alive. Like, thank god, like, where is she? And Maya's like, no. They found her body.
And I don't know if they do this in the books, but I did love the parallel. I don't love it when people die, but I did love the parallel of when Maya's body is found, her mom presents it in the exact same way. They found your friend.
Yeah.
Maya's back?
Yeah.
They found her body.
Yeah. Same song, same everything, like, very...
Emily deserves so much better.
I know, it's really sad.
Arya kind of got what she deserved. All she had to do was break up with the stupid boyfriend and she wouldn't.
Oh god.
Not about her dad though.
Yeah.
That was super sad.
Yeah. But yeah.
And fuck you, Byron. They should have put you in that hole instead.
God, fuck you, Byron. Fuck you, Byron.
What kind of name was Byron anyway?
And Ella's such a hottie.
Yeah. And doesn't he know she was in Charmed?
Like,
don't you know you're married to a legend?
Right. Anyway. And all the girls obviously experience realizing that Allie is officially
They're having to grieve her death all over again.
Yeah, has officially passed. And also having to grapple with the idea that someone out there knows all their secrets. And
someone murdered their friend.
Someone murdered their friend. They have a lot going on. On top of all the things that I just mentioned happening in their lives with the boyfriends and the parents and the homophobia, like all that aside, they just realized their friend is dead. She was murdered. They have a stalker, and someone knows all of their secrets. So, there's a lot going on there. A lot to deal with. And
then on top of that, Jenna and Toby show up to the funeral.
Well, they don't even basically, like, all four of them reunite until the funeral that happens, like, the following Monday or something.
It is crazy that the entire first book
is episode 1.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, no, I was gonna say the entire first book, they're not even friends yet.
Oh, yeah, I know. They all are having separate lives at this point. Allie's family decides to have the funeral in Rosewood, and they all sit together, or she has them all sit together, and they kind of easily fall back into their friendship, into, like, not the friendship, but, like, into being comfortable with one another.
Yeah, they make a not it joke about Jenna, who they blinded.
Literally.
Leave that girl alone.
Like, what? No. They made the not it joke about one of Allie's cousins who was, like, making flirty eyes at Hannah or something.
Your cousin just died, weirdo.
Like, girl, anyway.
5 minutes.
Like, seriously. Behave for 5 minutes. But they very easily fall back into their
bullying ways.
Yeah, and to being, like, comfortable with one another. And then this is obviously the moment, the iconic moment, where they walk out of the church after the service, and they're all kind of are talking, and they're like, wait, holy shit, wait.
I got a text!
Wait. And they're like, I've got a text! I've got a text! And they all scream, and they're like, yay! And then they do I'm still...
Wait, I want to do it too. Okay, ready?
They do the... I'm still here, bitches, and I know everything. Wait, that
was so good!
But
I'm still here, bitches, and I know everything.
That will go down in...
Yeah. Add it to the Constitution.
No, seriously?
Might as well be the 11th commandment.
I'm serious. Like those when I am at my lowest and I need like words of encouragement. I need to pick me up. I need something like, you know when someone's like quotes to live by. I'm still here, bitches, and I know everything. Yes.
Yeah.
Like I literally have chills.
Yeah.
It's oh my god.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's so good. Like
Scream 1996 dethroned.
No, literally.
Halloween dethroned.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, It the Clown dethroned.
Like
good luck catching the bitches.
Yeah.
Because the bitches are winning.
Should I be A for Halloween? Literally, I just have to
wear
wear
A.
We just have to wear a hoodie.
Slutty A.
I'm Mona and you're Cece. Anyway, so that's our first book. And our first episode of 7 seasons. Again, we were talking about this earlier, like no fucking wonder that show went off the rails. Because they ran out of content.
Yeah, book 1 is already done, episode 1.
Like, what?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
She wrote them 16 books to go off of, and that still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
They said, no.
Spencer has to have a British twin.
And so does Allie also needs to have an evil almost twin.
Yeah.
What? Oh, and Spencer and Allison need to be siblings. What?
Yeah.
Half siblings.
Yeah.
It would have been, I feel like, more shocking if Hannah and Allison were to be siblings.
Yeah, I guess so, because they're, like, neighbors and stuff. It, like, makes it more obvious, you think?
No, I just feel like Spencer and Allie, I feel like, butted heads so much. Like, almost like sisters.
Yeah, that's true. And I wanted to fuck Jason so bad. I had a poster of him in my room that I tore out of J14.
I wanted to fuck Ezra and Toby really bad.
Oh, Toby.
Rank the boyfriends.
Okay, so I'm gonna go off of like my now. Or should I go off my before?
Do both.
Before it was Ezra, then Toby, then
oh wait, one of them has a girlfriend.
I know, Caleb, and then Paige. For the significant others.
You know what?
I hated Paige.
Yeah.
Boots. I hated Paige bad.
I hate Paige to this day. Why was Emily's main love interest? It was Paige. They first meet because she's trying to drown Emily.
Emily cannot catch a fucking break.
No.
I never understood why we let that one go. I hated Paige, and I think I have good reason to hate Paige. She tried to drown her.
Well, because they always love to be like, well, she was internally homophobic.
Understood.
What does that have to do with me?
Yeah, understood. I understand.
And why is she drowning me?
And I can totally forgive you for doing that because of your internalized homophobia and what happened. Like,
doesn't mean I want to be with you.
But it doesn't mean I have to forget it, and it doesn't mean I want to date you.
Yeah.
I can forgive you because I understand what that's like to be in that position from Emily's POV, but I can't.
My then boyfriends were, of course, Ezra.
Yeah.
Ezra. I'm gonna go crazy. Caleb.
Yeah.
Toby, and then Paige, and I would say that's probably my now as well.
I would say mine's, no, my now, Ezra's definitely...
Okay, I hate Ezra bad, but, like, unfortunately the actor is really hot.
He is.
So, unfortunately he's still my number one king. But Ezra the character, prison.
Yeah, some of our best friends met Ezra, the actor.
If I met him and he didn't want to fuck me at 14 years old, I don't know what would have happened to me.
Our poor friend...
But he would not have wanted to fuck me at 14.
Well, obviously not. But... Your face. One of our friends,
yeah,
her mom was there also, and she spent the entire time they were with him showing him photos of our friend as a baby, and she was mortified. I
bet he thought it was cute.
I'm sure he did think it was really cute, but if I'm 14 and I'm looking at Ezra Fitz and I'm being humiliated by my mother, oh my god.
Why did her mom get involved anyway?
Because of course she did. Like, she's taking her, like, 13-year-old daughter and her 2 friends to go meet this guy.
Where did they meet?
He was doing, like, a charity, marathon. Like a run. And they signed up for the run just to meet him.
It's insane!
And I was so jealous. I remember running into my mom's room and being like, what the fuck? Like, I literally showed her, and I was like, this is before we were really friends, and I was like, these girls got to meet him, oh my god, like, I can't believe I didn't know about this marathon.
Would you have run the marathon?
I would have come, and I would have left before the run started. Work smarter, not harder.
That is crazy, though, that they did that. No
Yeah.
offense, guys. Love you both, but that is insanity that y'all did that.
I can't believe. But I also
I would do that, actually, ironically, I would do that today because I think I would have a chance with him. Well, maybe I wouldn't, but I would have to try.
I could try and give it my best shot.
And then I could say that I tried.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So, what would you rate this book? Out of 5.
It's a 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
That's a 5-starer right there.
Yeah, that's a 5. Just alone for the fact that it's a classic.
Also, before you do your ratings, give me your top 3 Pretty Little Liars episodes. I already have mine.
Okay, if you have yours, go first because I have to give it a moment.
Okay, first one is obviously Dollhouse.
Yeah.
Second one is Halloween special from season 1. Mona Reveal, episode 3.
Yeah. I would
Those
say...
are the top 3.
Yeah, I would say that...
And
Dollhouse.
honestly, Dollhouse and Halloween episode are tied for first, for different reasons.
Dollhouse, because that shit was just crazy.
So good.
Just so good.
I'm sorry that they were being tortured, but I wish Dollhouse had been going on for longer.
The the episode where they... You know the episode where they're watching the tape that A sends them of Allie, where she's like, I know you want to kiss me. And they see more of the clip this time, and it turns to Ian.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That episode...
Yeah. Also, the episode where Ian died.
Yeah, and then that episode.
I like that one a lot.
That one's called For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Period!
Ugh, because he fell in the... Oh my god.
Because he died in the bell tower like he deserved.
Oh my god.
I hated him so much.
Yeah, I hated him. But yeah, also then Halloween special season 2. Incredible.
Season 2. Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Because it's not in season 1, it's in season 2.
Oh, yeah.
The original one. With Allie as Lady G.
Yeah, as
2.
Lady G. The fact that they call her Lady G.
So she doesn't age.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my god, if you haven't watched Pretty Liars, I don't know what the fuck rock you've been living under, but you need to go watch that right now. It's gonna change your life for the better. And then after you watch the entire 7 or 8 seasons,
come back to our comment section and list your favorite 3 episodes, and then in a separate comment, list your favorite boyfriends, and then in a separate comment, please comment, I hate Ian Thomas.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna send you to go watch the entire show summary done by my king Mike's Mike.
Oh yeah.
Because those videos are so fucking incredible.
Yes.
And Mike's Mike, if you ever wanna come here
that's
and
the
just
pop Bible right there.
Literally the pop Bible. And if you ever wanna come and just talk Pretty Liars with us for a couple hours, we would just really love that more than anything.
He sure doesn't.
I actually think we would get along so well with Mike's Mike.
I'm sure we would.
Anyway.
What was your rating?
My rating is a 5. What are you talking about? That's a classic. That's a classic.
Romeo and Juliet is shaking.
Literally, Shakespeare's rolling in his grave.
Shakespeare wants to come back to life so bad, specifically so he can write Pretty Little Liars, but he couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Sara Shepherd could write Romeo and Juliet, but he couldn't write Pretty Little Liars. I know, you were in your... Alright. Go and follow and do all those things. Again, if you want to read our book for next week, we're reading Daydream that just came out yesterday.
By Hannah Grace.
By Hannah Grace, thank God. We are so excited. So go read that so you can be ready for next week. And go on all our socials and do all the things.
Please.
And share with your friends.
Please like and comment and follow and subscribe.
Yes.
If you wanna be kissed on the mouth by me, go subscribe.
I know you want that, so go do that. Okay, bye!